What's up, guys? Welcome to the Morning Beer Podcast. I'm your host, Derek, the nice guy. Anyway, I got a special gift for you guys today. You know what I'm saying? This is a long time coming. This podcast is by far one of my favorites to record. You know what I'm saying? I have really not much words except thank you to these two gentlemen. Thank you for, they're pretty much responsible. These two guys are responsible for making me, not making me, but like me wanting to be a better person and me stepping on the mat and getting my ass kicked. But I love it. I enjoy it. It's like some of the greatest things ever to happen to me. And like I said in past podcasts, we always have to find an outlet. I think as a human being, it's the best to find an outlet, so you won't be laying around in bed thinking about, oh, what's her name, getting depressed. You feel me? So, without further ado, I'm over here talking y'all head off like a mug. Without further ado, I bring y'all one of my favorite episodes. I bring y'all Jesse Tobar and Skyler Harp, the two men solely responsible for me actually walking into the gym, and I appreciate these guys more than they know. I'm hoping one day to be looking back going, yeah, they saved my life, because, I'm fat as hell, let's get real. But, so, without further ado, so let's start the show. Let's start the show. Let's get it started in here. I ain't gonna start singing. Don't worry, in this episode, I don't sing at all. So, that's good for y'all. I know all the haters on YouTube and stuff like that, All right, guys, welcome to the Morning Beer Podcast. I'm your host, of course, the nice guy, Derek Rivera, and we got a gentleman here right now. Introduce yourselves.
Jesse Tobar, trainer here at Triple Threat. That's where we're at right now, Triple Threat Jiu-Jitsu in Marble Falls.
Skyler Harp, right here too. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Today was pretty fun. If I say so myself. I got a lot of improvement, but you guys are fucking kicking ass.
Yeah, man. We just got off of the open mat doing this podcast. But how do you feel now, like doing this stuff? Like, what do you think about it?
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot better than just sitting at home. Like one Sunday I would be just sitting at home eating, watching Western with my parents. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But like, I was going to ask you all, you can answer at separate times, of course. Don't answer at the same time. That'd be kind of weird. But like, I was going to ask you, like, what made you step foot into a jiu-jitsu gym?
Okay, well, I'll go first. So, man, when I was in high school, I started doing powerlifting. I did powerlifting, freshman year through my senior year. I was pretty good at it. I was really strong. I actually went to state and nationals, and that was my thing, right? Like, we did football, but our football team sucks, man. So my thing was powerlifting. And powerlifting is just you're not worried about your other teammates or anything. So I did powerlifting, then I graduated, and I was still lifting, so I was still strong or whatever. And there's this gym, man. It opened up right down the road from where I lived. And it was half of a weightlifting gym, and the other half was jiu-jitsu. There was mats. I never heard of jiu-jitsu ever. I didn't even know what it was. I started going there, and I just started lifting weights. And we're on this half of the room, and I see people rolling around on the other half. And I was like, man, what the hell is that? They're just wrestling or whatever. And in my head, I'm coming off this ego, big motherfucker, saying that I can beat anybody up because I'm strong, right?
Yeah.
And I look over there and I was like, man, I can take all these dudes, man. There's this guy there, man. He was my last coach in my passes. And he's maybe 135, 145 pounds.
Oh.
And he was a real little guy, right? So I go over there and I just, I think he come and asked me if I wanted to try it, and I was like, sure, right? I was in the middle of my set or whatever. And man, that was such a turning point in my life, the way I saw things. We started, and he just did, whatever he could to me, and I could not stop him. He choked me. He armbarred me. He did all these submissions to me in like 5 minutes. And like when you roll, it reminds me of like myself. I was the same way. Like I was very like caring and I don't want to put my weight on you. But this guy, man, he like rolled me up, and I went home that night and I was like, what the hell just happened? Right? I was this big guy, man. I just went to nationals in powerlifting. Like I was really strong. And this 135, 145 guy just did whatever he wanted to. And I was like, man, I gotta learn this. I got to know what's going on, because if he could do that to me, like anybody could do. I ain't shit anymore.
Yeah.
That's my whole thought process is I ain't shit anymore, right? So I gotta learn how to do this. That was like 2010, 2011. That's when I started.
So that's like he told me, the mat don't lie.
Yeah,
and I found that out fast too.
It doesn't.
And that's exactly like where I learned that from, man. Because so many months go by, right? I'm training, and that's all my coach down there would say is like, man, the mats don't lie. And it's really humbling, man. Like I was very humbled, and I'm glad I started doing that, man. Because without jujitsu, I don't even know if I'd be here right now.
Yeah.
Like jujitsu saved my. Like everybody says, it's a meme. Like jujitsu saved my life, but it really fucking did, man. I mean, the people in it, you create a bond, like a family relationship with them. It feels like, and they get really close to you, and you get close to them. And it feels great.
Everybody here seems really helpful too. I noticed, like I was scared. I come in, everybody's gonna laugh at me.
No,
like for real, that was my biggest fear.
You know why? It's because everybody has been there. They've been in your shoes. They know what it feels like to walk through that door and not know anything. Almost like embarrassed to be here, right? Because you have no idea what you're doing, but everybody's been through that.
I was so nervous that first day, I almost threw up.
Yeah, man. Yeah, just like I said, I was the same way. Yeah. Once I got my ass kicked that day, it's like, okay, man, I'm like nervous to go there now and get my ass kicked again. But you just gotta, stay in it and keep working at it. The technique and that'll come. Just the hardest part, I think, is just staying in there, right? Just making sure that you come back. And there's many people that they walk through that door and their egos are just too big. It's too much for them.
Yeah.
You have these like times where everybody's walked through that door in this gym. There's lawyers, there's doctors, there's police, sheriff, whatever it is, and it's all about your ego. If you can't check that, man, you're not gonna stay here.
I was telling Skyler today, I was like, dude, 10 years ago, I wouldn't have made it. First class, I would have made it through the first class, and I would have just never came back. And that's what I was telling Skyler too.
Yeah, it's very humbling. Jiu-jitsu is very humbling. Like those two guys that came in just now.
Yeah.
They, I heard them talking about like street fighting.
Yeah.
And I was like, in my head, I didn't say anything to them, but in my head, I was like, man, that shit don't work in here, man.
No, it don't.
And as soon as I got a hold of them, they understood that. Because they were like, oh shit, like,
Yeah.
it is a wake up call, man. And that's what I was trying to tell them. I did tell them that after I rolled with both of them. I was like, man, you go out in the street and you think you can fuck somebody up, but when you fight somebody that understands and trains and does this shit for a living, it doesn't go the same way ever.
Yeah.
And it's a wake up call, because you think you're like a badass on top of the world, nobody can fuck me up. But whenever you come in a gym like this, that doesn't. It goes out the door. It doesn't work anymore.
Yeah. I remember when I first went to Lando school, I got beat up by a Golden Glove boxer. Didn't even realize it. That's like, remember Marvel Falls? I was like undefeated. And there I'm like, and he started fucking with me, and I'm like, we're fighting. And man, I got off that bus, and he fucking pieced me up.
Did you know he boxed?
No.
Oh.
I didn't know who he was. That was like my second day in that school.
That's the thing, man. That's the thing nowadays is you can't just look look at somebody out in the street and think they don't do shit. Because
Yeah.
even in jujitsu, you can be like the nerdiest motherfucker and be a black belt in jujitsu. That's what the jujitsu world is now, man. Like, there's nothing but these nerds that are learning this shit. Like 10th Planet guys. That's another gym. It's
Yeah.
worldwide. They're all nothing but nerdy guys, man. But they can fuck you up.
I've seen them on YouTube.
They get pretty gnarly.
So what?
Well, what led me to jiu-jitsu was I was in the military, and they introduced us to what they call ground fighting combatives. And so I gained a small understanding. Came home and, fucked up my cousins, my uncles, and shit. They thought I was a Billy Badass. Our old professor here, Jose Aquino, I was working out at 24 Fitness, and he saw me, invited me to come out here. And I had the same preconceived idea that, hey, I know some shit, and I'm going to come here and fuck everybody up. No, I got tapped out by Mario like in 15 fucking seconds with a straight arm block. And then instantly I was like, man, that did not go well. And so I just got addicted. I realized that if I kept walking that door, one day I could be the guy putting the clinic on somebody.
Yeah.
And that's what I want. I want to get better and better everybody else around me.
Those first days just make you rethink life.
Yeah.
You think you're just this somebody that can. You think you can control anybody, right? But if you train and they know what they're doing, you have no idea what they can do.
Yeah.
Y'all make it look easy. But
Dude, for me, it's the many years that I've trained is why I make it look like that, man. Because
like when I saw you in South Padre, you were so fast.
that's
Like, it was like, I was like, wait a minute, I'm gonna see these big guys go at it because I was waiting to see some big guys go at it. And I was like, it was like a little dude.
That's what everybody says, man. That's like what I'm known for. Like, I'm this big guy. I'm probably like 250, 260 right now. And the way that I move is I'm fast and I'm quick for a big guy. Like,
Yeah.
everybody says I look like a 180, 170 pounder moving around out there.
You took that guy down there.
I think what helped me, though, is being in football. I was a lineman, right? And coming off the line, you got to be fast with your feet. You got to make sure that the defenders are not coming back to get your quarterback or whatever. So I credit football a lot of that to like my feet work and my ability to move around. I think that's where it came from. And the strength, I mean, obviously came from powerlifting. So
Yeah, because your pressure sucks.
and it's like, but people think I've wrestled too, man. We didn't have wrestling in high school. I wish they did when I was in high school, but they just recently put it like a couple of years ago. And people think I'm just because my pressure, how I feel, but I've never wrestled a day in my life. Like, I don't know what the scoring system is like. I don't know, certain pins, and it just for me, it just kind of developed on its own. That's kind of like my game now. That's what I do. Like when I go compete, I want to take the guy down and stay on top of him. And I don't know how it got to that, but I started doing it and it was working, and I never stopped. Now, I mean, I'm not the best at it. There's so much more room for improvement in my wrestling, but I feel like I'm pretty good at it now.
I see you guys going.
You definitely utilize it a lot more in your fights.
Yeah.
Like here recently, like the last year, you have definitely become a lot more wrestling oriented. Like with your takedowns, like your single and blast double leg. It's pretty impressive. Like I wish that I had that ability because when I try to shoot, especially like you or anybody else, I'm eating the mat. My head gets stuffed and I'm eating the mat. That's why when I get done training, my face is all red. I ain't taking that dude down. No.
That's the
I think if you train enough, man, you'll get me down. If you just keep coming to class, you're gonna get there.
Roger that.
Oh yeah. So I'm holding off for the slow season. My job. want to learn something. I was like, these guys are fucking badasses. Like today was freaking awesome.
Yeah, it was. These open mats, man. They're really fun. I mean, especially like if you're not doing anything in the day, right? You're just chilling at home. Just come here and train, man. You feel better about yourself after you train.
I do. Like it's almost the same high as like the way I described it on my first day was almost the same high as doing stand up comedy. Where like the first time I did stand up comedy, I got like tunnel vision, but I was just like when I got off the stage, it was like I was just so happy and like nothing could hold me down. And them comedians tried, they really did. They tried to team up on us outside, and they tried to talk shit. And I was going right back at it. It was so
How often
fun.
do you do that?
I haven't done it since 2020, but I want to get back into it.
Yeah.
Because I used to just get up there. I didn't know what I was doing. I went up there, and literally there was a stage. I started going off on the stage because I didn't know what I was going to say. And then,
What made you want to start that?
oh, me? My friends were trying to get me to do it, and I was trying to get out of it. Because that's the old me. Like I used to literally like try to just get out of everything. Like this, it would took all like 20 years to get me to come in back in the day. So I'd be like, yeah, I'll be there. No, there was always some excuse.
I think it comes from making sure first that you're comfortable coming in here, but having that person that's like behind you and like, hey man, come in. Like I felt like I was like that with you. Like I wanted you to come in here. Like I wanted you to feel what this is.
Yeah, both of y'all were actually. That's why I wanted both of y'all on this. But like he was telling me the messages, and I'll say to him on Facebook, like, you should come in. You should come in. I was like, I don't know, man. They're gonna laugh at me when I walk in there. Like everybody gonna be laughing their ass off at me. I'm about to get ready.
That's not how it is at all.
But then everybody was helping. Everybody. I was like, damn, everybody here is cool as hell. Like, these are some cool ass people.
Yeah.
Like positive people.
Yeah, I think because like people that come in here, they to me, everybody has a story, man. Everybody comes from some kind of shitty time in their life where they're not doing too good, and they come in here, and for some reason, all that shit doesn't matter.
They really don't.
And you see people that struggle or whatever, and you invite them in, and that's what it is because people have been there. They've been through shitty times. And they understand how it feels. To me, at least, that's how I see it. So anytime anybody walks through that door, like I've been there where like I'm having like shit like in my life where I'm not doing too good.
Mm-hmm.
The thoughts that come to my head I shouldn't be thinking, but coming through that door and training in here, you forget about a lot of that. You forget about it, right? I think that's why people understand and they're wanting you to come in here. They just know what it's like.
Oh, I believe that too. Like, 'cause that, especially after you leave, you're like, damn, I feel good. Like you're in a good mood. Like I think everybody should start out with doing something on the side, like jujitsu, weightlifting or whatever. That's what I think. I think people should like try to find a hobby on the side like this.
Yeah, I mean, jiu-jitsu, I'm not saying jiu-jitsu is the answer. I mean, everybody has their own thing.
Yeah.
People do weightlift, people do other things, run.
Yeah.
And for me, this is my therapy, man. This is why I come here. The people I love, everybody here that I train with.
Oh yeah,
For real.
it's definitely an outlet, most definitely.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think every person needs an outlet. That will like stop a lot of like
just disconnect
shit.
just disconnect from life, man. Because you can't just be thinking or doing that all day and thinking about something all day. It just eats you alive.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It really does. Like I know from experience, but no, I know a lot of people that should. Like I try to introduce people to something. Nah. Like I try to tell some. Sir, you know who I'm talking about.
I'm excited.
And one of my brothers, and I'm like, man, you should come in there, man. Nah, I'll get mad. I was like, bro, no, you won't. If I won't get mad, you won't. Like I have a good time. Like I've had, like literally, I'm over like having a good time.
Your brother's older than you, or
I know he's younger.
was younger.
Yeah. We grew up together.
Mm-hmm. A lot smaller.
He's kind of stuck in the ego part where he thinks that if he walks in here and he gets mad and he's just going to start welling on somebody. I told him that's not how he
I'm like,
works.
no, you won't.
Like, really, you gain a newfound respect because you realize that all the things you thought you could do, you can't really do yet. You know, it's like a baby. You can't start running before you learn how to crawl. You know, and that's what people have a hard time doing. I had a hard time doing. You know, being underneath, Jesse, underneath Mario, you're just like, you're stuck in a situation where you have to find a way out. Like, there's no way around it. You have to find a way out. And that's what I've learned through jiu-jitsu is problem solving.
Or tap your way out.
Don't tap your way out. That works too.
Yeah.
Yeah, my goal is to at least go a little bit longer without tapping. I'll try. Then it's like, nope.
I think so. So my advice to you, for you, like starting out white belt, I mean, I say this all the time, but get comfortable being uncomfortable because it's definitely uncomfortable out down there, especially when you're underneath. But as long as you can like stay composed and just don't freak out under there, you get used to it. And this first year that you're doing this, all you're doing is learning how to defend yourself. There's never a time in this first year, that you should think that you can tap somebody like a higher belt out.
Yeah.
What you should worry about right now is getting out from under somebody and being comfortable. And when you learn to accept that, then you're gonna get so far ahead. Because if you don't understand that, your ego it's gonna get to you. You're gonna doubt yourself, and you're not gonna want to do it anymore.
So that's why I was telling him I'm glad I didn't come here 2 years ago. When I was, because I had that ego. I had a bad ego. Like it was.
And that's how your brother is right now.
Yeah.
I was drunk all the time and just straight up walk around like I was Mr. Billy Badass. I knew I wasn't. I mean, I didn't go around picking fights or anything, so I wasn't a bully, but I was,
Doing this, so for me, I've never been in a fight outside of this. I've been doing this so long, since 2010, 2011. And doing this, it makes you not want to do that out there.
Yeah.
For some reason. Just because you know what you can do. Like for me, I know what I can do to an average person that doesn't train. And I don't want to do that to them. And like when I go to like bars and stuff, like every once in a while, like people from my hometown, they'll like come and test me. Like, they're like, "Oh, you want to wrestle? You want to roll? You want to fight?"
That's a good hit.
But they just don't understand what I can really do to them. And I don't let it get to me. I just brush it off. And there's this one time, I didn't know this guy, but he walked up to me in the bar and he wanted to arm wrestle.
Oh, no.
And I was like, man, I don't want to do that shit. Why would I want to do that? I'm trying to have a good time, just have a couple of drinks or whatever.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to do it with him, and he was like arm wrestling other people, whatever. And then later on, he was like already starting to get drunk, and I could see it. And he was like, "Why the fuck didn't you want to arm wrestle me?" He's like started to get on my shoulder or whatever. And luckily, I know his friend from school.
Yeah.
And his friend walked up to him because he saw him talking shit to me. And I was just like chilling, just drinking. And his friend grabbed him and he like threw him out of the bar. And he was like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, do you know what he can do to you?" And then he came back later and he apologized. He was like, "Oh man, I didn't know. Sorry." But people just don't know, man. They really don't know what a trained person can do to them. If they're just average.
That's why, like, everybody needs, like, me as a conscience. Like, bro, you really want to do that? You really want to fuck with this guy? He's been training for... Like, they just need me on their shoulder, like, bro. We get wrapped up, like, he told you. I told you. Dumbass!
Do you ever have anybody that messes with you?
Yeah, well, they try. I mean, I have a few family members that try to, like, talk shit and try to get me riled up. And I usually don't let it bother me. I kind of go up by the philosophy of like, if you're just talking shit to me, I can ignore that.
Yeah.
It's when you grab a hold of me. That's when I get confrontational. And usually it doesn't happen, but every once in a while, it's usually with family members. They think that they can do something.
Is it because they know what you do in here?
Yeah.
Has it
Well,
always been like
they
that?
know that I train, and like my brother-in-law doesn't help. Like he kind of like throws fuel on the fire and like
Instigates it?
yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, I'm
I
not
know
trying
you-
to fight nobody. And every time that it does end up getting into like a physical confrontation, and I want to end it quickly, as painless as possible. I just they don't understand, and shit just goes bad. I try not to, like my nephew. He took a swing at me like last week, and
Oh,
I ended
yeah.
up choking him out.
I was there.
Yeah, and it's, I didn't want to do that, but
Well,
he was
trying
getting
to
all
do shit.
crazy.
Yeah, he's not small either.
No, he's like 5'11", 350 pounds.
Is he that guy that's come in here before?
No. I would never bring him in. He has a mentality that's not fit for that because he's straight up violent. And I'm afraid that if I brought him in here, that he would try to do that at home to his like mom or whatever. Because he just has that kind of mentality.
I know guys like that.
Yeah, and it's not good. I mean, but yeah, a lot of people they want to test you. They want to know. They're like, oh, he trained. I want to see if I can mess him up. And like Jesse said, they have no idea. They just don't. They don't know.
Especially at bars and stuff, and or family members. They just.
I think it really happens for me, it happens when people are drinking. They get that confidence in them. And they think they can do something, but they really can't.
Yep. That's when people mess with me, but even before. It's like, I guess because I'm big, and they be drinking, like, what? I'm like, bro, chill out. And it's always some little guy, like, like 5'2", I'm like, bro, just stop. Like, I patted him on the head one time.
Ouch.
Yeah, I was like,
That's
stop,
probably
bro.
pissing off.
It made it
I
worse.
was like, little brother.
And then I was like, want me to hold the door for you? You got to leave, bro. But, because to me, everything's a joke.
Well, you are comedians.
Yeah. Skyler's known me since 1973.
Man.
It's been like since 1990 something, I guess.
After we met in grade school, it's almost like you and BK.
Yeah.
Yeah, we met in grade school. We kind of hung out. We lived near each other, so
We had a mutual friend introduce us.
yeah. Another guy we went to school with.
Yeah.
You're in the same grade?
Yeah, we're all in the same grade. That was pretty cool.
I was the only Mexican in the group.
We had to have one, though.
Yeah. We had a fat dude that was like Cartman.
Yeah.
Me and him would fight all the time. I'd run through the halls yelling, "Fuck Michael, fuck him." He wanted to kill me, but we were friends behind him, of course. But yeah, that's how we met. It was a long time ago. Went 18 years without talking to this guy, and then when I started talking to him, he was working out here already. Just became a blue belt.
Is that because y'all stopped talking because just for y'all's own lives?
Yeah, I moved away.
Okay.
Yeah, he moved away to clean. I went in service.
I went to Lano first.
We just happened to run into each other a lot.
Yeah. Then on Facebook.
Yeah, because that's the time I fought Joe, and his face is all jacked up. And he's like, what the hell happened to you? And he's like, Skyler beat me up. I'm like, well, we were
I
both
kind of egg
drinking.
it on Facebook, though. There were guys like, used to pick on us, thinking, "Oh, Scott, you're bad at blah blah." I'm like, "You used to pick on him?"
Yeah, that was another weird thing that happened.
like,
Like I started training here, and like right after I got my blue belt, like I posted online about it. It was one of the best days of my life, and a lot of the guys that picked on me or bullying me in high school, like started hitting me up on my DMs, like saying, "Oh man, that's badass. You fight now. I'm sorry for everything I did and said to you. Don't come try to mess me up." And I'm like, bro, it's not even like that. First of all, that was high school.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Who cares what happened in high school?
I don't
That's
hold
pretty
it.
crazy.
Got too many things in my plate to hold grudges.
Yeah. I never really had those grudges, so.
I don't hold them, but I do remember them.
Yeah.
I do remember getting picked on, man. Like when I was a freshman, the seniors there. I guess that's just the thing in high school, right? The seniors pick on the freshmen. But man, let them do that right now.
Yeah.
Shit ain't gonna go like it did. And they never like fought me or like they would just like fuck with me. Like if I tried to walk through the varsity locker room, they would like snatch my bag and pull me back in and throw me back in the other locker room. And I still remember. So nah, I'm not gonna like go out there and look for them and fight them.
I just like to remind them sometimes. Like when they're like, they're like on his Facebook one time. I said, "Did you just pick on him?" I'm like, "Have a good day."
It's
Yeah.
It's
I'm horrible. I just do that of fun, But it's just funny to see some of the guys' faces.
Yeah, usually humbles them pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm. This Matt is humbling.
that's what it's for.
Oh yes.
Sometimes you gotta humble them, man.
Like those two guys today.
Yeah. I mean, that I wasn't for them. I wasn't even really going hard, right? Like they just really don't understand like what I can do today. I was going maybe not even half speed, man. And they were like all tired. The bigger guy was throwing up.
I saw that. I was like, "Whoa."
Yeah.
Been there, done that.
Yeah.
Plenty of times throwing up. But it's good.
That's the only reason why I don't, like, when I come here, I don't even eat before or anything. Like,
I don't ever eat before either.
Yeah, you should not eat or smoke or vape or any of that stuff. That is not a good
Drink
idea.
the night before. That's what they did.
Yeah, it's not a good idea.
I had about 6 beers and a shot last night.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I just did it in honor of a friend of mine. I was just thinking about it. I was like, you know what? If I was talking to him right now, I'd be throwing them back. So I get 3 for me, 3 for him, did a shot, and went and hung out with them. Just chill.
Yeah,
That's all I do.
that's why I try it.
Are you trying to like lose weight?
Yeah.
So for me, I'm gonna tell you this. Like, whenever I, like I said, I've been doing this for a long time. Between 2010 and 2018, I was on and off a lot.
Yeah.
And before I started coming here, man, I got up to 320 pounds. And this was like whenever we just had, like, I have a daughter. Me and my ex, we just had this daughter. I was working night shift, and I got this new job in Vernon. And I met my boy Willie. He works there, and he was coming here. I didn't know him at the time, but he saw me, and somebody in the work area, they knew who I was and they knew that I trained. And Willie walked up to me, and he was asking me if I trained or whatever, and I was like, yeah. But like, then again, I was like on and off. I was still white belt. I come in here, and I thought to me, I was doing really good. Like I came in here, I wasn't getting crushed like I would be like just starting. And everybody saw that, and they kept asking me like, "Why are you a white belt? You're a white belt. You should be blue belt here." But if it wasn't for Willie, man, I probably wouldn't know about this place. So I'm thankful for him. And he told me about this, and he introduced me to Jose, the other black belt that was here, and Mario. Since then, man, it's just been consistent. Every week I'm here, and like the weight loss thing. Like I said, I was 320 pounds, and now I'm down to 250, 260. So
That's awesome.
just and not only that, man, I was drinking a lot too then before I had my daughter, and just cutting that back, and then cutting back on fast foods, not eating out, and then doing this. It's helped me a lot.
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to cut back on vaping, cigars, bad food. Well, what opened my eyes was last year A guy I knew that was a year older than me, a guy I grew up with actually, and he died. He was like big guy, and I'm like, dude, he's only a year older than me, like well, he's 36 at the time. I was like, dude, and I was like, oh, heart complications. Like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? So it kind of like woke me up a little bit. Plus, my worst fear is to be that 600-pound man on TLC, you know, with the sponge on the stick. You know, like I used to have dreams about that shit, like in my face. I'm like, oh, I'll wake up just screaming, and I eat the whole next day, just be weak, walking around. For real, like the sponge, like with a stick, that scares me. Taking a bath.
There's some of those people that can't even do that, man. They have somebody else washing them.
Yeah, they have wives. Like, how does he have a wife?
Yeah, for real. That's what I think too. They're like, damn, they can get somebody. I can't even get a text back.
For real. I'll get a text back every once in a while when she need money. I'm like sponge on a stick. So I was like, yeah, I got to do something. I'm almost 40.
Let's definitely do it.
Oh yeah, I've noticed.
Because, like, for instance, like my example would be TJ.
Yeah.
You know, when me and TJ came into the doors together, you know, we trained pretty
Yeah,
much.
he showed me old pictures.
Oh, yeah, and he was a
He needs to
big,
come back.
he was like basically oversized Google.
He's getting back there.
I know, and it worries me. And, you know, I just, like I said, you know, if you lose that focus and discipline, it is very easy to just, you know, let it go and go back to where you used to be. And, you know, it almost happened to me. And I'm trying to fight that because you get that little voice in your head that says, "Oh man, you take the day off. Oh man, you're tired." So tell that voice to fuck off because all that voice is gonna do is hurt you.
Yeah. That's how that voice hits me every morning. I'm going to work. But this morning it hit me. It was like I woke up at 6 and I was like, just go back to sleep, bro.
Dude, I thought about that like 5 times.
Yeah.
Because I got woken up.
I was like, yeah, we're not doing that.
I got woken up at like 4:30, and I was like looking at the clock, and I was like, man, do I really want to go train? Do I really want to do this? And I was like, and then I sent a message like, hey, I may not be able to roll with it.
Yeah.
Eric, he didn't let me get away with it. He's like, no, man. He said, we'll flow. And I was like, all right. So I felt better. You just got to get into it. Be consistent.
I'm nervous every time I walk in and tell someone, says, you want to roll me? I'm like, yeah. Then the nervous goes away.
I still get nervous. Every time I walk in the door, I get nervous. I don't know why. I do. I get nervous.
Like, I ain't gonna lie, that first time, I was standing right there, and I was about to step on the mat, and I was like, oh, you still got a chance to run. And then I just stepped on the mat. I was like, fuck.
Aren't you glad you didn't?
I'm glad I didn't run.
I'm proud of you, dude.
I ain't gonna lie, I don't know why that was such a big step for me.
This is the biggest
It was
step.
like looking at the mat, looking at all the other guys. Good.
You know why it's big steps? Because one day when you're a black belt, you're going to remember that step and you're going to think, man, I'm glad I did that.
Yeah.
It's like me, man. When I was weightlifting that day and I went over to that mat, I still remember that day. I'm glad I did it.
Yep. I remember how I felt afterwards. I couldn't breathe. I'm like, no more cigars. No more cigars.
Yeah,
I haven't smoked one since.
Yeah, they won't do you any good here. Because I used to smoke cigarettes. I used to dip. I used to.
I mean, I'll smoke a cigarette once in a while. I still vape, but
Maybe it's worse for than that. It just like every time I thought switching from smoking cigarettes to vaping when I started training, I thought, you know, that may be a better idea. No, it made it worse. And so I just cut it completely out of my life. And the way I did it was one, I just bought little nicotine pouches, and I just dived in here. If you're in here, you ain't got time to think about that.
yeah, I was thinking that earlier. Like when everybody was leaving, I looked at it, I said, damn, I haven't had no nicotine since. I wasn't even thinking about it until I looked at the clock. I didn't even know what time it was. I thought we were only here like 45 minutes or something.
No.
And I looked up at 2 hours.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
You lose track of time. Whenever you're having fun,
Yeah.
really pay attention about the time.
That's one thing I love about the most. Like, I could be having a shitty ass day, everything going wrong. I come to class and I train, no matter if I'm sore or whatever, and then I feel better. Like I feel relieved. I feel like the whole world got lifted off me for at least an hour, and I could just be me. You know, and that's nice. And I'm very thankful for it.
Love that, though.
Hell yeah. Because even if it's a small accomplishment, you did something that most people won't do.
That is true. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they say that in jiu-jitsu, what do you think the hardest belt to get to is? The last one, you would think black belt. That's the
what I was
hardest
thinking.
one to get to. You're just
Brown or
thinking it,
black?
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not. It's the white belt. The white belt is the hardest thing to get to. Because think about it. How many people are in the world that don't train jiu-jitsu? They don't have white belts.
A lot.
For you to come in here and get that, that was the hardest belt that you're ever going to receive.
For real.
Because everything else just comes in time. Because even if you don't have any athletic ability or you're not good, eventually it'll just click. You'll have an epiphany. I know that sounds cliche, but you will. You'll have one day where things make sense. Like you see things. You know,
Yeah.
I'm still at a very low level, and I'm starting to see a few things faster. You know, you're basically learning how to get to point A to point B faster. That's all it really is.
That is true.
That's just my observation.
As a higher belt, for me, you think about rolling, and you in the roll, you're thinking about ahead of what could happen.
Mm-hmm.
And the higher, how I feel, the higher belt you get, the farther you can see into the roll. Right? When you go to a certain transition, you already know where they're going to go, where they're going to base out, how they're going to defend. And as you get higher and higher, you get to the black belt, like you see it way farther down, and it's cool.
Yeah,
So right now,
because today I was like, how the hell, like when what's the big guy's name? Let's see, he's like down talking, he's like, and I was just like, how the hell am I gonna get out of here?
oh, Steven.
Yeah, I was like, how the like
Yeah.
that was the first thing I was thinking. I can only imagine knowing how to.
Yeah, to me, I see it as like, you ever been like in a road that it's foggy outside at night, and you can't see anything in front of you in the fog.
Yeah.
As you're getting higher, the fog is starting to separate, and you can now start seeing down the road.
That's
how I see it.
pretty badass. Yeah, because like literally, I have no idea how to.
Yeah, you can't even see in front of your hand right now.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, there's so much fog right there. But the more you come, the more the fog starts to fade.
Oh yeah.
And you'll be doing crazy monkey shit like I do. And like I said, TJ started off the same way. He was a big dude. He struggled. He couldn't even invert. You know, and I'm not making fun of him. I mean, I suck at inverting. And eventually, over time, putting in hard work and dedication, showing up every day, even when you don't want to. That's the best day. It's when you don't want to show up. Because I've had plenty of those where I'm like, man, I could easily take this day off. You know, I'm tired, everything's sore. I don't want to come in. I come in, I suck it up, and then I'm like, wow, I may have got my ass kicked, but I did this when I'm tired. Imagine what I'm going to do when I'm not tired.
Yeah.
So it's like a little confidence builder.
After you're done, you just, man, I'm glad I came.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy that I did that. It was good.
Yeah, because like
It
I
does.
see on the internet and I'm like on Facebook or whatever, and I'm like seeing you guys take pictures in the gym, and I'm like, man, that could have been me in there. I'm over here at home, but I'm watching them work, and like, it's depressing.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I take a day off and I see photos, man, I'm like, damn it, man, I should have gone.
I get kind of like after a workout, I kind of get like a buzz, like I said earlier, like just doing stand up. It was the same kind of feeling, like you're floating. It's like a buzz. I don't know how to explain it. Like oh, you want to hit this crack rock? Like you know, I don't know how to explain it. Like really, like
Yeah, if you ever get to where you're going to compete in here, I would say if you ever get to that and you go out there and you win, you feel that same feeling. Because that's how I know the feeling that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Doing these fight to wins and sub-100 pros, whenever you're on that stage by yourself and you get that win and everybody around you is clapping you and you have your family and friends there, it's a different kind of feeling. It's that tunnel vision. It's that like high. Right?
Yeah.
That's that feeling, man. I love that feeling. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Same. I was like, that's like the best high I ever felt in my life. It was. I don't know. That's the only way I can explain it. Like,
to me, how I see it is, you work hard in here, you just blood, sweat, and tears come into this gym, and you see it pay off whenever you get that win. It feels good.
I'm not like. I don't know if I'd ever compete. Maybe. It seems like it kind of be fun.
Oh, it's very fun.
I like going to y'all's matches. I ain't gonna lie, there's a vibe there. It's just like one of the greatest vibes I ever felt in my life. Like the first time I went with them to Temple, I was like, man, people were so cool in there. Like you're in a room full of killers, but everybody's like nice as hell.
You coming out next Friday?
Is it next Friday or this one?
This Friday coming up.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna tell you, you know those ones that you go in Temple, those are like a lower level promotion.
Uh-huh.
But this one that you're going to, so it's like a fight to win, right? It's one stage. We get like the walkout music, and it's not like 3 matches going like you would see in those other ones. It's just that one match, and it's so badass, man. I love competing on the stage. I love like showing people like what I know, and then I do certain techniques and certain moves in the fight, and then I can go back and see, well, look, guys, I taught this, like it works. And I feel good about that. Like whenever I'm teaching my students or whatever, like from here, I'm showing these techniques and they're actually working because I use them in the fight. That makes me, feel good. It makes me feel good as a coach and as a competitor.
Yeah, I bet. It's badass.
It makes us feel good as students. Like you're watching one of your coaches and you respect up there showing you things in class, and then he goes and does it in a fight, and you're like, holy crap, it does work.
Yeah.
Like this dude's able to do this. It's eye-opening. It's like, I'll watch Jesse fight, and like I'll see the sequence and doing something. I'm like, I see what you're doing. And he'll do the same thing to me in class. Oh yeah, for like a year straight, he had this thing where he'd take my back, and like I would stick up my arm. I knew he was going to move, and I'd still do it. Yeah.
Everybody's felt that here, man. That was my thing. But people stopped putting their hand out there.
Yeah. It took me forever to do that.
They learned.
Thank you. I was thinking, writing it down.
Because I'd be like on bottom, and Jesse's on top, and I'd be trying to step on, and he's like, Skyler, you haven't learned yet.
The sad thing is, I was just thinking, one thing on top, I'll put my arm out.
That's what that guy was doing earlier when he was wrestling around with Jesse.
Yeah.
He was putting his arms out. I'm like, that's the worst thing you could do.
That one kid, the smaller one, seemed like he actually.
I asked him, man. I really think he did something. He's wrestled or something before because he didn't seem like an average person. The way he was rolling with Guillermo.
I was like, this is his first time. God, I wish I could.
The way he was rolling with him, it just seemed like he had some type of experience.
It had to have been something. That was pretty funny.
He might just be one of those kids that just come in here and having that natural ability.
Yeah.
You never know.
Probably.
I think he should definitely train.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
He's got all these talent.
He's only 19.
Yeah, he's young as hell. He's got the whole world in front of him. That kids, like, once I get the money, I'm gonna put my daughter into it. That's give her some,
See, that's what I wish I would have done something like this when I was young, but it's like I'm glad I did because I was such a bad attitude. I was such a drunk. All them videos I do of me laying on the ground sleeping and stuff, that's actually real. Like I actually did that back in the day, sleeping in people's arms and stuff. Like just. And I'm glad I don't I'm glad I didn't learn come in this class back then. Because even though by now I'd actually be knowing something, but still, I think my ego would have killed it. Like that's what it did with football and stuff in school. Like I was good, and then I got in my head But now I don't have that.
Yeah, it's definitely a hard thing to get past the mental aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I still struggle with that. And you just gotta believe it.
Yeah.
That was my hardest part. because a lot of people believed in me, but I didn't really believe in myself.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew what I was doing. It's just when it came down time to do it, fuck. And, you just got to get past that. You got to believe in yourself and come in here every single day will help you get to that point.
Oh,
Especially with our guys. I mean, we were talking about this yesterday in that other podcast. We were talking about going cross training with the other people at other gyms, right, in Austin and Temple or whatever. But I get the same amount of work in here as I do, out there in the other gyms. That's really good coming from this small Marble Falls gym, right? It's not a big town. It's not like Austin. And it's not like Temple.
yeah.
We have some good guys here, man.
I was gonna say, like, y'all have a bunch of badasses here, like
Which is
for real, like.
cream rises to the top. Because I've seen a lot, like when I first started, I've seen a lot of people coming up. People that you wouldn't think that wouldn't come back,
Yeah.
they just wouldn't come back. Like a lot of coaches, an old professor, just, oh yeah, something happens. And I tried not to get in that mode. Because it's hard as hell to get out of it.
Yeah, man. I definitely don't want to be no quitter.
What's easy for you?
Yeah.
That's the easy for me. That's why I try to instill my kids. The easy thing to do is the wrong thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because,
Yeah, we definitely don't want to be. I don't think quitting's an option or anything. I don't want to be that 600-pound guy on TLC.
don't be that
Like,
silly.
it'll be cool, to be on TV. But I'm just saying. This is my thought. I love it. I love
Kind of cool.
it. I'm like, y'all give me some more Cheetos, or we gonna just let me starve to death on this bed here.
Need some Diet Coke.
Give me a Diet Coke, bro. We'd be good. I need
Yo,
6
yes.
Storms cheeseburgers.
That's awesome.
For real. I think this will be a good closing point, unless you guys want to have anything else to say. Or
I mean, besides saying my stuff. So next week, August 4th, I have a pro fight coming up in Killeen. I'm not sure when you have this out, but
Tuesday.
okay. So if you want to come out here in Killeen, just hit me up. Facebook Jesse Tobar or Instagram _Jesse_Tobar BJJ. You can DM me and I'll get you the link to the tickets. Also, to my sponsor, I have a sponsor, Fight Back CBD. If you ever want to get any CBD oils, they have gummies, they have this muscle rub or protein shake. Fight Back CBD. If you use code Jesse Tobar, you get a 15% discount. That helps me too. So that's all we have right now.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you guys don't want to miss this fight. Jesse puts on hellacious fights. He's always excited. Like we said before, Jesse's a badass. He may be humble and not admit it, but he's a badass.
I'm not that. I'm not.
For real. That's a badass.
Me, BK, and Isaiah from the gym. We're all gonna compete out there.
Oh yeah, man.
I
You guys
know
inspire me. Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. And of course, this podcast is brought to you by Pfizer. The new saying, if you stick them and die, is, I'm kidding. I don't want to get canceled again. They cancel me more than they cancel Andrew Tate. But anyway, you got anything you want to say, Skyler?
Not really. Just come see my boy Jesse. Come watch him fight August 4th. It's gonna be in Clean, right? It'll be in Clean. You don't want to miss this. Tickets are not expensive. It's worth the price. Trust me. It's kid friendly and all that stuff. Just keep doing what you're doing. If you can, get in the gym and train. Whatever it is, find your passion. Just go after it. Make life your bitch. For real.
And Peace. All right, guys, thank you for listening to that podcast. That was awesome. So that was like one of my favorite days of the week. I'm not gonna lie. Like Sunday was dope as hell. You know what I'm saying? We went in there and just had a great time over at the open mat at Triple Threat. I really appreciate you guys for listening. And you know what I'm saying? Go support these guys, man. Go give these people a lot of support because I'm telling you right now, it's always good to have good people around you. And when I'm around people like Jesse, Skyler, or even in that gym, I feel uplifted. So like I'm really happy to really happy through this episode. I'm really happy to just get it all going. You know what I'm saying? So guys, thank you very much. Thank you to Jesse. Thank you to Skyler. I appreciate you gentlemen more than you freaking know. And you guys are the sole reason why I walked in that door. So and just bad motherfuckers. And like I said, I told y'all. That's all I do is associate with bad motherfuckers. Simple as that, bro. Simple as that, baby.